folks, and welcome to our transition episode. We are no longer Friday Night Spotlight. We are now Pinal Prep Spotlight, where we talk about everything but football. So we are in winter sports. We are talking about our girls' basketball season here in Pinal County. And for this episode, no game of the week, no nothing, just kind of our general thoughts of what we've seen so far to start the season. David, what's on your mind?
I don't know. I really don't know for this season. I feel like there's going to be a lot of parallels with what we had with our football season, where it's just a lot of ups and downs, a lot of turnover, and just a lot of a wait and see for a lot of these teams. If there's one team that I do want to shout out, it's going to be on the girls' side. It's going to be the Poston Butte Broncos. They're an interesting team here because of the transition that they're still going through after Savannah Bix left 2 years ago to take over the job at Gilbert, and she kind of laid down a good foundation, but that foundation has been broken down and needs to be rebuilt. And they brought in a new coach, Sade Morris, who has done a very solid job with this group with what they had last year. Last year was kind of the farewell tour of Samira Gray, who was one of the best female basketball players that we had in Pinal County. But now it's a new crop of players, and a really interesting piece they have is a sophomore in Emily Mossever. She's done a really good job for them so far. She's averaging 10 points a game. Another sophomore they have is Taylor Fong. They have some really good shooters on this team, but their priority is going to be defense, and I feel like that's going to be a key for a lot of our teams. There's not a lot of size when it comes to the girls' basketball side in Pinal County, so defense is going to be able to be a huge factor for them because they don't really have. I don't think a team really has like a lot of the size that is required to kind of play some solid defense on the inside. So they're going to have to be aggressive when it comes to the defensive side. I feel like a lot of full court presses will be implemented. So Poston Butte is a team to watch for me just to see kind of how those foundation pieces are laid this year. I also want to shout out Combs this year. Combs was a playoff team last year. They're kind of trying to elevate themselves a little bit more, especially after a lot of senior talent has exited since last season. So again, it's a lot of wait and see for our girls basketball teams this year, and we're just going to have to figure out who's going to be at their end and who steps up and what kind of rises to the top in this situation.
David's mentioning the wait and see. I feel like this is kind of a build-up year for a lot of our Pinal County teams. We have a handful of teams going into the season with second-year head coaches. Santan, Foothills, Florence, Vista Grande, a couple of them. Of those three, I feel like Florence is kind of trending more in the right direction quickly. Vista Grande, last year, it was a struggle for them. They had a lot of seniors. This year is essentially a rebuild year for them. A lot of underclassmen and just trying to figure out what works for them, what's their identity and everything. ALA Ironwood, got to give them a shout out. After a couple years of not having a program, they are back in action this season. And had this show been filmed a couple weeks ago, I would have said, hey, it's a no-brainer. Pinal County girls basketball runs through Coolidge. After seeing them already in their first home opener, I'm not so sure. This Coolidge team I saw was very different from the one I imagined over the summer and everything, and talking with head coach Erin Monteverde. While they didn't lose a lot of key pieces last season, I thought they would be more well-rounded with Elijah White and Alyssa Charles kind of having that 1-2 punch for them. Unfortunately, it is now just Elijah White. Alyssa Charles is no longer with the team, and because of that, they've kind of have to reestablish their little triangle of chaos, is what I used to like to call it, with White, Charles, and Amira Miguel, who graduated. So it's just White now, and because of that, hey, opponents are going to solely focus on her, and she might not be able to excel the way she used to with her two other counterparts and getting those steals, those assists, those easy fast break points, which is what Coolidge just heavily relied on last season in making their run to the 3A quarterfinals. This year, it's just a matter of who can step up and help Elijah out. They still have two other White sisters in Azaria and Alana. It's just a matter of, I know they're sisters, but how well can they gel together on the court with the other two players on the floor at the same time? And hey, Monteverde is very confident in that this team can make another playoff run. It's just a matter of when does everything start clicking together for them. David, overall, any other thoughts?
I do want to mention this would be the second year of the open bracket. I think that's going to be an interesting talking point this year because we saw the open bracket in action in its inaugural season last year, and it was a little bit of just a jumbled mess at times. And I really want to see how that affects players and coaches and how they manage their teams throughout the year. Are they thinking about the open bracket? Are they thinking about what are going to be the ramifications around it, especially now that they've kind of had a taste of it last year? I hope the AIA made some changes to how the format works, but hoping the AA does something right is never a winning battle, unfortunately. So we'll just, again, have to wait and see how this all plays out, and we're going to keep bringing you the best as we can as we move forward, and we're going to have a good time with it and see what happens.
As always, be sure to check out Pinal Central as we continue to work our way through many season previews, and tune in next week when we talk about boys basketball.